This is a video response to a video by someone calling himself biblethumpingwingnut. And he made a video entitled A Challenge for Atheists. It's relatively new to YouTube, only joined late last year, and he probably isn't aware that there are many videos on YouTube that all have a similar title, and they get quite exhausting for those of us who have been on YouTube for a long time. But this one, this challenge for atheists, wasn't as insulting as some of the rest, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to answer his question and try not to be insulting back. So, he starts off with a premise saying that atheists have asked him many times, where is your evidence? And he says, well, everything is evidence for a creator God. Everything around you, it's evidence. Now, most atheists would probably say, well, if it's evidence for a creator God, that doesn't necessarily mean it's evidence for your creator God, you know. And yeah, that gets tiring and old. Just like the questions that the theists ask get tiring and old, sometimes the responses get old. So I'm going to give a fresher answer than that. I'm going to say that just because you think you have evidence for a creator God doesn't mean that that evidence wouldn't also fit other possibilities. The fact that matter exists is not just evidence that fits the scenario of a creator God. It also fits all of the other scenarios. So until you come up with evidence that is exclusive to a creator God having done something, then you don't have evidence that proves your point. You have evidence that proves all sorts of points. On to his question, the actual challenge for atheists. He asks the question, as an atheist, where does matter come from? Actually, he asks this right after acknowledging that as atheists, you know, we don't necessarily need to have an answer for this because atheism doesn't really address that issue. But I will address it from the point of a skeptic who came to his atheism through skepticism using that methodology. So I would say this is where it gets funny. I don't know. This degree on the wall behind me, above this bookshelf, I double majored in English and psychology, and I never took a physics class at all. You know, the hard sciences I had to take were biology because it ran into neurobiology, and that's what I needed to get my psychology major finished. And the best explanations that I've seen that use the same methodologies that I use to come to atheism have been videos on YouTube by Lawrence Krauss explaining how matter could have arisen without a creator God. But aside from that, my understanding of physics doesn't go beyond pretty much the atomic level. Even the quantum level, to me, is still really fuzzy. You know, and I get the feeling that you ask the question, and I get this feeling from a lot of Christians that ask the question, that if I can't answer that question, you want to plant your flag, like Eddie Izzard. Well, do you have a flag? Well, in that case, we claim this land for, Britain. You know, and I don't need to know in order to be an atheist and feel comfortable being an atheist. I don't need to explain something to the point where I actually understand its cause. It is not necessary for me to say, okay, well, God did it, if I can't explain it. I can say I don't know, and it's a perfectly valid answer. You know, especially for someone who has not studied in that field. I'm not the expert. I know that I'm an atheist. I know the fields that I did study. But when a question arises, especially in cosmology or physics, that I don't know the answer to, I always feel like the Christian or the theist that's asking me this question thinks that if I can't answer it, then then you're not an atheist who has explored everything. I have explored the Christian explanation, and I found it to be lacking. I did not find it compelling in any way. So, I'm still left with, I don't know. Hope that was helpful.